Good afternoon, investigators. Mike Evans with Spy Curious. Just snuck up on me. Hit the button too early. Hope you are well and having a great week. Got to turn my music on. All right. We have just had an episode just prior to this afternoon of Investigations Uni. If you don't know what Investigations Uni is, it's the Friday support program for Australian Security Academy students and graduates. And in today's Friday support program, we told you all about the difference between a diploma of government investigation conducted in the investigation unit and the certificate for government investigation conducted in the investigation unit. And I told people who watched it a simple 1, 2, 3-step process to guarantee you, as a diploma of investigation manager, make sure you have a complete investigation. If you are not a member of Investigations Uni, one of the 135 people who are members of it, get in touch with me and I'll give you the access so you can see, as a diploma investigation holder, what you're going to do in government investigations when you conduct investigations in that simple 1, 2, 3 step to guarantee your investigation is complete. So let's have a look at some of the job vacancies this week around Australia. All of these job vacancies you can see on our Facebook page, which looks like this. Find it. If you want to see what job vacancies exist for licensed private investigators in Australia, get over to this Facebook page, Australian Private Corporate Government Investigations. Answer 2 questions. Are you an Australian student? And are you looking for work as a licensed private investigator? And you'll see all the jobs come up. Here's some examples. It's not all of them. So this is a great one down at the Victorian Institute of Teaching in Victoria. You'll need a certificate for in government investigation for that job. So great opportunity in Victoria with that. This one came up yesterday, Jonathan Mark. They're looking for private investigators in around Australia. It's on our Facebook page. There they want people that triage fraud investigations and analyse fraud investigations. So great opportunity for a very entrepreneurial and established investigation agency there, MJM. They're looking for investigators in New South Wales to conduct investigations. Oh, great. Thank you very much for that kind comment. Really appreciate that. I know where you live. PKF Integrity in Brisbane, looking for a licensed private investigator. So come over to PKF Integrity and apply for that job. Really good opportunity, that one. You're going to be doing forensic accounting at PKF. We have a lot of students from PKF today, everybody. Fraud Intelligence Team Manager is wanted for the RACQ. Now that's a corporate role. We don't need a private investigator's license for that one. Investigative Services Group down in New South Wales are looking for investigators to conduct factual and surveillance investigations in workers' compensation matters. So that's a great opportunity with ISTA down in New South Wales. I get asked all the time this question. In New South Wales for high care, what is WID investigation? WID investigation for high care in New South Wales. Victoria, workers' compensation, the VWA, they don't have WID investigation. High care in New South Wales, the Work Cover Authority there, have WID investigation. I wonder what it means. Very simple. Work injury damages investigations. So that's what they call it in New South Wales. You're an investigator, get used to it. That's what you're going to be doing when you do workers' compensation investigations in New South Wales for IST. Or you might end up doing them for, who else is there? That's where I was. Vendor management. Now, vendor management too investigations in New South Wales, but they are general insurance investigations. If you're looking for a job working from home as a desktop investigator in general insurance investigation, and you want to work in a dynamic, supportive, and great team, apply with your Australian Security Academy Certificate 3 in Investigative Services and your Queensland Investigation Licence to vendor management. They know you've been trained properly when you hold this certificate with your name on it. There it is, got your name on it. Right. At vendor management, they want to speak to you. You might think, oh, inexperienced, I'm afraid, I'm too scared, that's going to be too complicated. No way. Vendor management are going to onboard you. They're going to support you. They're going to ease you into it. They're not going to overwhelm you. They're a great team. Get in touch with Asha. There are her contacts there. She wants to know that you're licensed and you've got one of these, all right? She's had some great success with that, so get in touch with her in relation to that. Barrels in New South Wales are after lots of private investigators to do cover work. The absolute dynamo, Mario at Insight Intelligence, wants you to work for him doing workers' compensation investigations in New South Wales. Willoughby's are looking for investigators in Darwin. Been around forever. Willoughby's, good on you. Hi, everyone up in Darwin. Great to see you. ABI, Warren Saunders investigations. They want ABI, want workers' compensation investigators down in New South Wales. Now, look, do yourself a favour and get in touch with these people. Great team. Sure fact, he wants you to do investigations in New South Wales and Victoria for workers' compensation. Don't miss out on that opportunity. Just too good to miss. And M&A investigations looking for factual and surveillance investigators down in Victoria. So they are really great opportunities. One of the things you learn in our classes, in all our qualifications, not just this one, is that it's really important that you comply with what your service level agreement tells you. Now, some loss adjusters in New South Wales have been found to not be compliant with the requirements of their loss adjusting service level agreement with a whole bunch of insurance companies. And it's going to lead to major problems in reviewing past investigations done by those unqualified loss adjusters on those panels.
So what does your client service level agreement say? The qualifications of panel members must hold the nationally recognised qualification Diploma of Loss Adjusting. These clients demand that panel members who are loss adjusters are actually qualified loss adjusters and hold the actual nationally recognised qualification, not one that ceased to exist in February 2002.
Yeah, holidays have been interrupted in New South Wales.
A lot of loss adjusting firms this week. Everybody's coming back from holidays to
sort that one out there. A 22-year-long major disaster in the education of loss adjusters. Someone didn't renew an expired loss adjusting course, and now they've been found to be non-compliant with the AQF. So that's a really interesting development down in New South Wales. Okay, so that's big news this week for Australia-wide. There are big loss adjusting firms that are going to be doing those reviews. We looked at doing some licensing last week, what you have to do, and I missed the Tasmanian one. So let's have a look at how to apply for a licence.
To apply for a Tasmanian inquiry agent licence, which is a private investigator licence, you go to the Tasmanian Consumer Affairs website. And on that website, it tells you all about applying for a new licence, working in the security industry, what training and qualifications you need, and the various security licence activities. So when you click on that, it tells you what again, what training you need. And if you scroll down through it, you can see all about being an inquiry agent in Tasmania. So what an inquiry agent there does is provide information on other people, their character, their actions, their business or occupation, getting evidence for the purpose of legal proceedings, and they search for missing persons. That's what they reckon. So all that's on the Consumer Affairs website. And in Tasmania, so here you go into individual security licence, into individual agent security licence, and you can see all the information is there on how to go about it, what training is required, what prescribed offences will preclude you from being an inquiry agent, and how to go about even renewing your licence is on that website. So there's checklists, there's all that sort of thing. It's an online application, so you basically just go to the online portal. You're creating username and password, all that sort of thing, and that's what you're doing to apply for your licence in Tasmania. So that's Tasmania. We looked last week. You can watch last week's replay of episode 188 of Spy Curious and see how to do it in New South Wales. There. Now, the question with those loss adjusting things is, does my Australian Security Academy diploma of loss adjusting or my certificate for in loss adjusting count? If your certificate says FNS 41610 Certificate 4 in loss adjusting and it's from the Australian Security Academy, you have a 100% legitimate nationally recognised qualification. If your certificate says FNS 51410 Diploma of Loss Adjusting and it's from the Australian Security Academy, you have a 100% legitimate nationally recognised qualification in Diploma of Loss Adjusting. If it says FNS 51415 Diploma of Loss Adjusting and it's from the Australian Security Academy, you have 100% legitimate nationally recognised qualification Diploma of Loss Adjusting. If it says FNS 51420 Diploma of Loss Adjusting and it's from the Australian Security Academy, it's 100% legitimate nationally recognised qualification.
So if you go and work for Storfax or Farrell's or M&A investigations, you're going to be doing workers' compensation investigations. You can research your future career or what you're going to be doing and jump online and have a look at basically workers' compensation figures, that sort of thing. There's a lot.
These are national figures. A serious workers' compensation claim is one that is a week off work or more. So here you can see that 21.9 claims per million hours worked that were serious went to labourers, 15.2 went to community and personal service workers, and machinery operators and drivers had 11.7 serious claims per million hours worked. In 2021, there was 130,195 serious claims around Australia. 37% were body stressing, 23% were falls, slips and trips, and 16% were hit by moving objects, so forklifts, trucks, trains, trams, whatever. Here's a really interesting part. You can see in the figures here from that same year that 3,236 females had serious claims in healthcare and social assistance. In mining, if you go down towards the third from the bottom, there are only 42 females injured in mining. So mining's relatively safe compared to healthcare and personal assistance and public administration.
That's just a little quick overview of what you can research yourself. If you jump on the Victoria VWA website and look at workers' compensation and how it works, you can spend 5 days reading about it there. So it's an interesting way of getting up to speed. So when you finish the course and you're waiting for your licence, have a bit of a flick around some of those information-rich workers' compensation websites. I've done vendor management, don't miss it. Just got to make sure this one's down in Victoria. It's a domestic violence workers job. Great opportunity down there in Victoria. You can see that on our job vacancies Facebook page. So there. One of the things we discussed in the investigations menu today too, which is no great secret, but I want to bring it up because it's really important to me. Rod Escort, who was the first security manager I had to ever interview as a private investigator some 30 years ago, passed away this week. Rod, unfortunately, may he rest in peace. He was the security manager for the West Point Casino, and someone would make a claim against the West Point Casino public liability insurance, and Keith Hurd made sure I was the investigator. He gave up his role doing it so I could take it over. Keith Hurd stepped aside. He gave me an induction. He said, Mike, just fill in the blanks. It's really easy. All you have to do is fill in all the blanks. Which football team do you support?
Ah, not Carlton. Oh, I don't know whether you'll make it in this industry, mate. But anyway, Keith did a really great job. He gave me an induction and I became the investigator for the public liability. Good on you, Keith. Love you, mate. Go Blues. So I became the investigator and I had to go and speak to Rod Escort. I'd go in there with, different investigations over 5 years. And Rod would say, what's investigation this time, Mike? And I'd go, such and such. And he'd go, yeah, this is what happened. This, did that, did this. Then I'd go and spend 18 hours investigating it, talking to the witnesses, watching the CCTV, measuring the scene, inspecting it, going to the architects and the designers of the building and talking to the person in charge of facilities there and this sort of thing. And he'd say, there's no hazards in our car park. Put it in a statement. It's really great. And I'd find out what Rod said in a 1-minute summary was exactly what happened. Really great investigator. In honour of Rod, one of the things he did was, he ran a team of investigations. He was the detective in charge, and he had a particularly gruesome murder in Hobart several years ago when he was a detective. And his team had gone and done all the interviews, and what it was 3 people who shared a flat, 2 males and a female. One of the males was murdered, and they had no evidence, they had nowhere to go. All they had was he was witnessed at a bus stop by someone that knew him talking to a lady. That's all they had. And then his body was found. Rod got all his detectives in and they looked at their statements, that sort of thing. He gave them some really sage investigation advice, which you need to know as an investigator. This is what Rod said. Look for what is missing. Rod told them to look for what was missing. So they went through the statements, and the statements said that the lady who shared the flat with the 2 blokes was missing the dress. She couldn't explain it. It was like the place had been burgled and this guy had been murdered elsewhere. But she wasn't missing a dress, and she was a helpful, sophisticated young lady who couldn't understand why one of her dresses was gone. Yes, she didn't have a wardrobe the size of a princess in England. She was a university student. It would have been, quite an utility wardrobe. And she said just one dress was missing. And Rod focused when he looked at all the statements from people on this area, and he told his detectives to comment that dress. That was what was important. So they went out and they actually found it in an equal at the flat that was shared by the 2 people cleaner. And they got all this sort of thing. And what it is one of the males had dressed up as a woman, met this guy at the bus stop, pretended to be somebody else, lured him away from the bus stop and stabbed him to death. Now, they didn't know this in the first place. This only came out later when they found that he'd been wearing that dress that the young girl that was missing. He was made up and wearing ladies' shoes, the whole shebang. And no one knew this at the beginning. This was only after a search of the premises, and that murder was solved as a result of that detective work looking for what was missing. So, Rod, very experienced investigator, sad to
who passed away this week, a very good mentor of mine, very good supporter of mine over the years. He actually even came to one of our classes that we ran in Sydney and sat there for 5 days politely and participated. So good on you, Rod. May you rest in peace. So, looking for what's missing is really important. One of the other things we discussed in the investigation community today was what they say in the staircase about the investigator. In there, they have a thing that goes like this. If you want to be an investigator, you must look for the way in, not the way out. When you get your instructions to do an investigation through case management system, read them, understand them, clarify any questions that you might have with your instructor, and then look for how you can do the investigation within the parameters of the time frame, the cost frame, the cost, and look for the way. I find the best investigators are positive about receiving an investigation. They don't make up a whole bunch of excuses why they can't do it. They're very successful people because they think, oh, I can see the people. I can interview the next door neighbours and do a door knock. That's in the instructions. They're going and doing what they're told to do and looking for the way. They're not going, oh no, that's in the NALA. I don't want to do that. No, where it is. They're so excited to be an investigator and have the opportunity. They're going to go and knock on the doors. That's what they do. They look for the way in. So that became out in our investigation community today. It's really important. Got all those jobs done. The other issue we have with that loss adjustment thing, now that we know that the loss adjusters are unqualified and their qualifications don't count, over 22 years they've been issued a nationally recognised qualification, which was from an expired accredited course on the February 25th, 2002. Our members at AirLap and myself are going to lead in demanding that loss adjusters throughout Australia have to be licensed just like private investigators. They're not qualified, or some are, there might be less than 100 that are qualified, okay? We have to be licensed and we're qualified with a Certificate 3 in Investigative Services. We're going to push for the fact that the loss adjusters can lose their exemption, which they have in New South Wales and Victoria and Tasmania and Queensland, and have to become licensed just like us. So that restores the level playing field and the balance in the industry. We have to do Certificate 3 Investigative Services, pass it, be trained, presented to get a licence. They don't have to do anything because their diploma of loss adjusting that they did was non-compliant with the AQF for 22 years. So that's really interesting. Sorry, 18 years, not 18. 18 years. Whoa. That happens when you're live. So that's interesting, and it's really important to understand that they've issued some 5,000 subject unit competencies or modules to loss adjusters. Rose Training issued 45 and got fined $23,000 for that. Aqua's training firm who trained Aqua's course, which was expired, issued over 5,000. So if 5 equals $23,000, then 5,000 is going to equal a lot of money, but I can't calculate that on Friday afternoon. So that's really interesting information that's coming out about the ANZIIF and ACTA and loss adjustment. So if you want to study a loss adjustment course or a Certificate 3 in Investigative Services, get in touch with me. There's my contact there. Don't forget, we have investigation mini next week. We want to get into the Continuous Professional Development Program or the Continuous Professional Education Program that we run at the Australian Security Academy for free for our students and members of BETA. A member of BETA will get free access to our investigation uni every Friday on a range of investigation subjects. So keep that in mind. I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. I'm Mike Evans from the Australian Security Academy. Have a great week, investigators. My usual. Yeah.
진짜로요. 찾았습니다. 작전 종료. 전원 복귀할 것.
You have been watching episode 189. Quite curious. Every Friday. G'day, Rosie. Great to see you. Thanks for your message before in Investigations Uni. I'm sure you enjoyed that one. There's some great tips there that you can apply. You don't have to be at management level. You will be one day, I'm sure, with the level of your work, Rosie, but you can apply everything we discussed in Investigations Uni today in your work at Certificate 3. Have a great week.